When Black people are in the streets and saying that this is now a cause that we're taking on ourselves, that we have to come against the Jews, I'm just like, do you know that the very same people that are using you as pawns in their game, like you're next. We are very much next. October 7 showed us that, because there were Africans that were taken hostage and massacred by Hamas, as well as Gazan civilians who chose to participate in that. They didn't care that there were Black people involved. They didn't care that there were non-Israelis, non-Jews involved. They wanted death, and whoever was in their way, they were going to achieve their goal. And that's what they're telling us they're going to be doing here in the United States of America. So again, I'll repeat the same thing that I said earlier. When are we going to start believing them and taking them at their word?
In Nigeria, so there's a video that we shared, and then we found out from one of our Nigerian partners that the video itself is a couple of months old, though what's happening to Christians in Nigeria is not an old thing. This particular story just happened to surface and make its rounds on social media, so we shared it. It's so just so you get the picture, our producer's going to play it for you. It's what you're seeing are Christians that you see, a pastor, you see his congregants inside of what used to be a church. It's rubble, and they're still worshiping, even though a group of radical Islamists came and burned the church down. Look at this picture. It's a very short video. Go ahead, producer, show that to the people.
We praise your name, Jesus Christ, to protect us, to guide us, Lord, to see us through, to fight for us, to give us hope in the name of Jesus.
It's a both beautiful and tragic picture, right? You have these people, these strong Christians, these strong believers in Jesus, who have just had, and this is in the midst of not just churches being burned down, but pastors being slaughtered in front of their congregants. This is in the midst of churches being burned down with people in them. In Nigeria, just about 3 months ago, there's a church, the Islamists got a hold of the church, they locked everyone in and burned the church down. They were in it. So people are being slaughtered, tortured, killed, all that stuff for their faith. These people still come to the same place and worship. So that already is just a testament to, I think, the strength of the Christian people on the continent, particularly in Nigeria. And as a Christian myself, I go, man, I don't think Christians, us here in America, we are not ready for that level of testing of our faith, right? That, oh my goodness. I mean, air conditioner is broken and half the church doesn't show up that Sunday. Imagine it's raining. It's too cold. Like, you know, I had a late night last night. I'm gonna stay home and I'll stream it on in my living room while I, do other stuff. These people, their church, just the fear of those people returning because they know where your church is, right? Their church is burned down. They come back and they worship. So that's already a beautiful scene. And it wasn't a surprise, but sometimes certain posts will trigger certain accounts of certain people. I shared the post, and the post that I shared had a caption that said that the church was burned down by Islamists, because it was. And that particular post happened to trigger a bunch of different Palestinian, other Arab, Muslim accounts that hopped on. And it was like they were reading from the same script. A lot of talking points were the same. They would say, oh, the Quran says, where in the Quran does it say it's okay to burn down churches? They're not really Muslims, so that's an insult. You shouldn't call them Islamists, because that's not what being a Muslim is. You are being offensive. You shouldn't say things like that. That is extremely racist for you to call them Islamists. Right? So that kept going on. And I just noticed, I took screenshots of certain ones because other people would say things like one, and these aren't, and not the obscure accounts. These are like, some of these people have blue checks. One person commented and said that it's hard for me to feel sorry for these people when I know that they probably support Israel, the state of Israel. They support what's going on in Gaza. So what he was saying was basically, screw those people because they're probably Zionists, which they probably are, because most Africans are Christian and most Africans are Zionists from a very biblical standpoint. So what he said was, fine, good, the church was burned down. It doesn't matter. I can't feel bad for them because they support Israel, so screw them. And it wasn't surprising to me, but I was just glad that this stuff was out in the open. So I just took a screenshot of all this. I'll probably write an article about this in our Substack to show that, once again, Israel's enemies, that Jew-hating spirit, also seeks to destroy and control Africa and enslave Africa. That deep-seated hatred extends to the African as well.